Hello and welcome to the All Out Attack podcast. Today we're going to be doing top 10 goalkeepers from 1990 to now. Because obviously we didn't want to do all time because we weren't really about before, like back in the day when like Yashin and Banks were in goal. But we've gone for a top 10 of like kind of modern era keepers. So I think get straight into it. I'll start off with my number 10. I've gone with Victor Valdez at number 10 because in the La Liga, he obviously was in a very good Barca team, which probably helped, but he had 539 matches and just 440 goals conceded in those matches. So I think he had, as I say, he had a very good defence around him, but like, I had to put him in the top 10, part of that amazing Barca team. But I think sometimes he gets kind of like underappreciated because of how good that team was, but I think he deserves a spot for me.
Fair enough. For my number 10, I went for Dida because he was part of the golden age AC Milan team. In his Champions League appearances, he kept 49% clean sheet. He had a 49% clean sheet ratio, which is very high. And I think in this Serie A, he had 39%. But it might be because AC Milan also had like a very well-rounded defence, but I saw him as quality.
Mate, he was very, very good keeper, very good keeper. He was in the the golden era of AC Milan when they had that insane team. It's like a bit like Valdez, really. Like they're both in insane teams, so I think they get underappreciated a bit.
But that Milan rivalry, like in the 2000s, was insane because they both had great teams, and then Mourinho at Milan as well. Inter.
Serie A was the best league in the world at that time. I'll give it that. Yeah, at that time, I'd say.
Like Adriano for Inter and that.
Yeah. And they had R9 at one point. They had such a good team. Both Milan sides, as you say, had a very good team. But Siraj, who have you gone for?
I'll put Oblak as my number 10.
Okay.
Obviously he hasn't run a lot. He's still like, I think he's probably like 26 or something odd, 26, 27. I mean,
he's quite young.
It is a controversial one because you see there's a lot of other keepers like David Seaman or that he said Dida like that I could have put in the team and maybe I should have, but I think like in time, especially as time goes on, I think he'll show a lot of people how good he really is. I feel like I remember hearing a lot about him back in like 2017-18. Obviously, Atletico were doing really well. They were on their Champions League runs and stuff. And in recent years, they're starting to make a bit of a comeback now. Like I think this season, they might go on another Champions League run. We could see them get to the final.
I can see them going far, to be fair.
Yeah, literally. And I was looking at his stats, and he's got 111 clean sheets in his first 199 games, which is over like 50% percentage, and that's insane. Like not many keepers have that.
I didn't think another keeper in my list.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, Buffon. But don't think not many keepers have that good of a ratio of clean sheets. Fair play, and like as you say, probably the only thing that's limiting him from being maybe top 5 is the longevity factor. But I think he's a class keeper.
Yeah, he's a great keeper.
So number 9, I think you lot might have had him a little bit higher than me. I've gone with David De Gea as my number 9 because I think throughout the 2010s, he was. I think we've said this a few times on the podcast already, but like throughout those 2010 time, he was probably one of United's like star men, kept them in the game. And as you said before we started filming, he had a defence of like Smalling and Phil Jones covering him. So basically, he didn't have much support from the back line. And like as I've said multiple times, he pulled off some saves that I was like, how has he even done that? Like it was insane. But I know for certain someone else, at least one of you, Siraj, is going to have him in at some point in this season.
I'd love to put number 1 if I could.
The number 9, I've gone Lehmann of Arsenal. Because, the Invincible season, I mean, he kept many clean sheets in that season. I actually don't know the exact number, but if anyone has a number on that.
I went with Lehmann as well. He said, I think it's overall for Arsenal, he said I've found it. I'm not 100% sure if it's completely accurate, but it says 54 and 148, which is,
Yeah,
that's fairly
that's
decent. That's like,
36%. Yeah, I got that.
yeah.
Actually.
And but yeah, Lehmann is a class keeper, and I always remember it when he took the piss. He ran off the pitch and started taking the piss on the side, and the other team got the ball. I think it was like Leverkusen or something, and then he literally was pissing, and he just had
Yeah,
to jump back
mate,
over and ran
I've
back in.
seen that. He's such a what a guy.
Yeah,
Mad.
what class.
He was actually so good. Like, I think,
Yeah,
in my opinion, he's probably. I'm not going to make the statement of Arsenal's best ever keeper because I don't know pre-Premier League, but I think in the Premier League era, for me, Lehmann is their I think he's better than David Seaman.
yeah,
For
probably.
me, I
I
didn't
mean,
have either.
German keepers are just different gravy, really. They make so
Yeah.
many. Like, they always have great keepers. Like, right now, they've got Neuer, Ter Stegen,
And
and
Leno.
Leno. Yeah, so, that's three quality good keepers there.
Yeah, their Euro keeper selection is pretty stacked. They can
Yeah,
put any of them in, they'll do better than any English keeper.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, exactly.
but yeah, so have you said your number 9? Oh yeah, you both said your number 9. Don't worry.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
my
Yeah.
number 8, I've gone for another ex-United keeper. I've gone for Edwin van der Sar at number 8.
Fair play.
Oh yeah, so he like holds the consecutive clean sheet record in the Premier League, which that's considering the amount of good keepers the Prem has had, to have the consecutive. I think it was like it kind of spanned over from 2007-8 to 2008-9.
Yeah,
And he kept. I think it was something like ridiculous, like 20 or something clean sheets in a row, and he was insane keeper, and like again part of an amazing United side who. Venice, you can't use the thing of like he didn't have a good defense in front of him because he had an amazing defense in front of him. But
Yeah.
like he did keep them in games at times,
yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 8.
Yeah, for number 8, I went for your number 9 choice, David De Gea, because
Yeah,
same reasons as you, really. Like, kept them in the game many times. Also kept clean sheets. Like, you can't take his clean sheet stats away from him as well. Still got 36%, which is really high, especially now that you think the Man United defense now and like Jones and Smalling. I don't know. That is really high for like the defense he had in front of him. So I think it's fair to put him 8th.
Yeah, same as well.
go on.
I'll always say, he's my favorite. Like he's after Rooney, he's probably one of my favorite players ever to watch. David De Gea is just like I'll never stop singing his praises, man. Like he was just different gravy, and I think not only for like the keeper, he's struggled these past few years, but the impact he's had on people wanting to become goalkeepers and the way goalkeeping has changed in the modern era. You see like Nick Pope or Sam Johnson. You see a lot more acrobatic keepers, keepers who sort of stay on their line more, and it's kind of changed up the way. Before you have the Neuers or you have your Schmeichels, who rush out to the ball. They're more commanding, authoritative keepers. I think, especially for me, like playing in goal and stuff. Yeah, he was a huge inspiration. So yeah, man, De Gea number 8 for me. Like he could be higher if once his career ends. When you look back in retrospect, obviously everything's different. But right now, I'd say number 8. There's some solid choices ahead of him. But, yeah.
I agree. I think by the end of De Gea's career, if he carries on, like I actually think he's having a good season this year. I think he's done quite well. I mean, no matter how deluded Harley is.
Harley is, yeah.
I do actually think he's still a class keeper, and I think if he carries on getting the number 1 spot at United for the next few years, I think United are going places. Like they've got obviously Bruno's revolutionising the team, and like they've got some good players in there. If they can sign a solid centre back in the summer, maybe a Koulibaly or someone like that, then I think he'll show people like how good he is and like carry on and maybe be a bit higher if we're still doing this podcast in 10 years. Who knows? Could be top 3.
Seeing him beards and shit.
But yeah, for me, he was number 9, and yeah, obviously Van der Sar number 8. My number 7, who Siraj actually already mentioned, is Jan Oblak.
Really, that high?
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's young, but I think like by the end of his career, he is going to be right up there with the greatest. Like genuinely, I think he's an insane keeper. Like I watch a little bit of La Liga. I can't say I watch a lot. But like he keeps buying it. Sorry, he keeps Atletico in games. And like obviously, it's a shame he can't do it on the international stage because he's Slovakian.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, I think he's quality, and yeah, I'd have him above the three that I've said, and yeah, I'd have him seventh. I mean, not really much else I can say because you've already mentioned the sort of clean sheet stats and everything, but like over 50% is ridiculous. Like that's the best, as I say, apart from Buffon, that's the best out of anyone that I've got in the list. Like I think he's just a great keeper. So yeah.
I've got a question. Do you think if Oblak moved to the Premier League, he would still be that successful?
Yeah. I do. I think
he's like a cat on the ball, isn't he? He's just the way
he is incredible, to be fair.
The only team I can see actually signing him from the Prem is Chelsea.
Yeah, I think Oblak.
They're the only team who I would say out of the big six that need a keeper.
Yeah.
I mean, say what you want about Alisson in the last two games, but I still think he's one of the best keepers. Well, I think he's the best keeper in the Prem. But like, I don't know. I just think Oblak. I could see him going to the Prem, but if he does, it'll be Chelsea.
Yeah.
Not United after De Gea. Give it like 2-3 years. Maybe De Gea is.
Yeah, maybe if De Gea moves on.
I know that the Dean Henderson fan club.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
there's a little fan club there, but
we'll see.
I think I could see De Gea leaving at the end of next season and potentially going to like a PSG if like when Navas leaves or something like that. There's a few keepers who go to PSG and some players. Buffon went there in his later years and stuff. I can see De Gea maybe going there and Henderson, maybe stepping up. But I think with United at the moment, unless Henderson leaves because he really wants to get first team football, but he's most likely to go out on loan, I think, for one more season, and then we'll see, I guess. But I think Chelsea, either Oblak goes Chelsea or they get Nick Pope. I think. I don't know.
I think they're getting Nick Pope. I think Pope will move to Everton. I think Pickford will be knocked down. I think 45 million Everton transfer maybe.
It's a bit bold statement.
Because they could get Dean Henderson on loan. That's what I'm saying. Like.
Yeah. No, I see.
Henderson might go Southampton or something. But yeah. I could see him going. Everton would be a good place for him. Actually.
I think it'd be a good, bit benefit, especially if they're in Europe next year.
Oh, definitely.
But
in sixth, I've got Khan, which honestly, I'm gonna say I don't know enough about him, but the numbers speak for themselves. To be fair, another 36% clean sheet ratio, and he was obviously the captain of Germany. I think he was captain. Pretty sure he was.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was, and I think he also captained Bayern for a bit.
Yeah.
He, for me, I'll speak about him later, but I'm with you. He's a class keeper, absolute legend. But yeah, what a keeper. I've actually also gone with Khan at 6.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, I've just changed that last minute. But yeah, I had him at 4, but then I've put him back to 6. But yeah, I just think what a keeper. Like, as you say, the numbers speak for themselves. The amount of shit he's won is insane.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Champions League winner, Bundesliga winner, like multiple times.
He won the Euros in '96 with Germany.
Yeah.
And he got runner-up, I think. World Cup, obviously, I think they got to the final, didn't they? 2002 against Brazil.
Yeah.
I think that was France.
No, that was '98, wasn't it?
France won it in
No, they won it in '98.
Oh yeah, maybe you're right.
I think it was Germany. I'm not sure, but I think it was.
But yeah. Anyway, what a trophy cabinet he has, and he also he was one of the star players in that German and that Bayern team. So yeah, I've got him at number 6 as well. Who have you got at number 6, Raj?
So I think I missed that one, but quickly I'll just say I got Van der Sar at number 7 because he was insane. His position.
Oh, sorry.
His position.
Oh yeah, I have Van der Sar at number 7. Sorry, that's my fault.
Yeah, and I was looking at his clean sheets, and he's got 90 in 186 games, which is nearly 50%, which is insane.
That is mad.
Yeah, and Khan for me is number 6. Yeah, like his clean sheet.
We all agreed on something.
Yeah, literally. Like him and Schmeichel were like the Buffon and Casillas of the the 90s. Like there's always like a great goalkeeping rivalry. Like in the 90s, you had the Schmeichel and Kahn. In 2000s, you had Buffon and Casillas. This generation, you've got Neuer and De Gea, sort of thing. Or well, probably not De Gea as much now, but it
Neuer and
was
Oblak right now, I'd say.
right now,
at
yeah.
the time.
But in I guess I was talking more like the mid 2010s and stuff more so.
Yeah. 2010s, I'd say it was Neuer and De Gea to start off with.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, it was Neuer and Oblak.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll back Khan at 6. We've agreed on something. For my 5th place, I've gone with someone who you're all going to have in your top 4, I think. I've gone Peter Schmeichel. I'm not denying I've put him above some insane keepers. I think he's absolutely brilliant. Like, the fact that he captained a treble-winning team in the first place gets him into this top 10. And, like, for me, he's top 5. I had him at 6, and I've moved him up to 5. But yeah, I mean, I actually haven't got clean sheet stats on him, but I know that they would have been impressive. But yeah, he was the one who sort of he was a big shouter, wasn't he? He used to always
he classed Roy Keane a lot as well.
I'm not actually a fan of keeper captains. I think that people should have outfield players as captains, because obviously keepers are already quite like vocal. However, I think Schmeichel is a exception of that, just because of how like much of a leader he was, and like one of the I think Roy Keane's the best Premier League captain of all time, but Schmeichel's definitely up there for me.
Yeah.
100%. So yeah, I think what a leader of men, and what a keeper, like shot stopping wise, even chipped in with a couple goals at times,
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, he's 5th.
Yeah, for 5th, I also went Schmeichel, and all the reasons you said. Plus, he's got a staggering 41.2% clean sheet ratio, which is very high for the amount of games he played.
Yeah, no, that is sensational. To be fair, what a keeper Schmeichel is like. For me, I've got another Premier League keeper just above him, but yeah.
Yeah, same.
So my number 5, I went with Czech.
Yes, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Czech was a great keeper, and after his career sort of ended, I just realized how good he really was. I think one of the greatest things about Czech also was, he got that head injury, and with a lot of players, that especially with their head, like as a goalkeeper and even a general footballer, like that could like mess up your career. Sometimes it's hard to come back from that, and he came back from that, and he was still the same, or if not, he was even better.
Yes.
He like in a way, that head injury is so bad. Like, every time he was on the pitch, he was risking something, but he always gave it was all, and it shows. He's got the most. Most Premier League clean sheets? I think you were saying before.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got.
Yeah, once.
So that moves on nicely, but he's actually my number 4.
Yeah, same.
Because 202 Premier League clean sheets in 442 appearances.
Wow.
I haven't got the percentage, but it probably is around 40.
Yeah, 45.
5-ish, yeah. I'm
not 45.
Maths, but yeah, I think, what a keeper he was. As you say, like, to come back from that head injury and to still be like, at one point, Czech was definitely the best keeper in the world as well.
Oh yeah.
Like, towards like 2007, 2008, 2009, he was clear, and like I'm pretty sure he got nominated for like a Ballon d'Or. Like, obviously he didn't win it, but he got like top 5 one year. Which
I'd say Czech was obviously quality, but I always thought that in the time period he was in, I think Buffon and Casillas were. Obviously we'll come to that later, but come to that later.
There was 1 year where for me, Czech, his stats were literally insane, but he did have Carvalho and Terry in front of him, who were great centre backs. So,
Carvalho, one of the most underrated.
Definitely. I was genuine. Like, he wasn't really close to being in my Premier League team, but he kind of was, because I just wanted to give him a little shout out, because him and Terry were actually, for me, just as good as Ferdinand and Vidic.
You think? I don't know about that. I think that's a big shout.
It is a big shout, but as you know, I think
Ferdinand
Kieran's
and Vidic.
best centre back in.
That was insane.
But
those are the time of my life, man.
but yeah, has everyone said they're fit?
Oh yeah, yeah. My fourth was Czech
Oh no,
as
that's
well.
fourth. Sorry, that's
My fourth was Czech as well.
Yeah.
For exactly the same reasons you said, really.
My fourth's going to be a bit controversial, you know. I think in retrospect, you know, after his career, might have a different opinion. But for fourth, I've gone Neuer.
That's harsh.
Bloody hell, that's a rogue
That's
shout.
harsh.
Four, come on, man. That's top four. Like, well,
Oh no, okay,
that's yeah.
I mean,
you know, I said in retrospect, we'll see. But you know, he's 5-time. Obviously, he was in the team of the years, 5-time GK of the year, whatever. And I was looking at his stats. He's got 200 clean sheets in like 425 games, which is like 47%. Which, you know, like Khan's was 36%. Obviously, that doesn't put anything on Khan's. Like, that's not trying to put Khan down. But it's just saying like, just shows you how good Neuer was. And obviously, he's had a great defense. But you know, ever since that 2010 World Cup, and I think that will always be like a highlight because you know, Neuer was Schalke's keeper, and there wasn't much about him, but like he got promoted to that level because NK, who was the former keeper, you know, he committed suicide, and what's it called, Rene Adler got injured, so Neuer had to step up. He was like the second, third choice. He was a decent keeper, but he was like a I'd say like a Dean Henderson level keeper. Like, he wasn't like a very known keeper in like the world in that sense, and like, well, what I mean was he stepped up in that World Cup, and you know he did really good for them at 2010 World Cup, and the 2014, you know, they went on to win it.
Yeah, and in that 2010, the whole of that German team, it was kind of like they were all kind of a little bit. They weren't expected to do that well that year, funnily enough. And then they came obviously that Lampard controversy.
Oh yeah.
And then they absolutely smashed us that game. And then they went on. They smashed. I think they beat Argentina 5-1 in the quarterfinals.
Oh yeah.
And then everyone was like, "Wow, this team are very good." And then they went on to.
I think
they got to the
semis in Spain.
Yeah, it was 1-0 Spain. I remember that. That tournament was great. But yeah, for me, Neuer will be spoken about a bit more.
Definitely.
But for me, has everyone said their fourth?
Yeah.
So we go and check Neuer. For me, number 3. Again, you might have him a bit higher. I've gone with Casillas as my number 3. He's literally, I wrote down as one of my stats for him, won everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's won everything.
Like, obviously not the Prem, but like World Cup, Euros, La Liga, the Copa España, the Portuguese League.
Yeah.
Super Cup.
Been in the team of the year. Like, literally, just, mate, what a keeper. And 177 clean. I don't know when this stat was from, but 177 clean sheets in 524 appearances. Pretty impressive. Like, if you look at some keepers, that is like insane from Casillas. And I just think, you know, he's probably just short of, like, between my top 3, I could have put any of them top, and like I've actually changed my mind on it recently because I've changed to, I'd put in my top, like I had Casillas as second and I put him third. I put someone ahead of him. But, Casillas, what a keeper. Like, he was a part of a great Real Madrid team for years, and in my opinion, he's one of Real Madrid's best ever players. You know, but yeah, what keeper?
Number 3 for me was also Casillas, actually. Mostly the reasons you said, but also I just remember in the 2010 World Cup just saving them so many times.
He was insane
as well. He was absolutely insane. And even for Real Madrid, like you said, he won everything with them, including like all the European trophies he could, like the top ones, and the Spanish league. And last year, the last year before he retired, I think it was last year to be fair, he like had a 57% clean sheet ratio.
Yeah.
Porto, which is insane, even if it is in the Portuguese league. Like, It's incredible, to be fair.
For a keeper in his mid-30s as well, like
late 30s now, surely.
Yeah, late 30s. Yeah, like
At 39.
what a fucking keeper.
He is retired now, yeah? He must be.
I think I believe so. I don't think he's still, because he was at Porto.
Yeah, he finished last season. Was the last season.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I thought so. But yeah, he was mine. Who was your number 3?
So my number 3 was Peter Schmeichel. I went with. He got, what was it? I was looking at a stat, and De Gea and him before this season started, they had the same number of clean sheets, and Schmeichel had it in 59 less games, which is crazy. You know, that's
Very
like
impressive.
2 seasons, or 1.5 seasons less. And like you said, you know, he was a commander on the pitch. You know, you don't really get that as much anymore from a lot of keepers. And you know, without him, like obviously Sir Alex was a great manager, but like on the pitch, like just you know, you need someone on the pitch, and we had Roy Keane, but we also had Schmeichel, you know, he'd just be like shouting shit at the players, but you know, he just motivated them to do so much better, and it's just like he was sort of like a traditional keeper, like you know, like he would come out, he would like sweep players, he'd take the ball off them, but he was one thing people don't realize is how acrobatic he was. Like I was watching the game against Juventus in '99 semi-finals.
Yeah.
Pretty sure like Inzaghi or someone like does a header, and he literally just gets down. He's literally on his line, and he gets like literally right to the ground, and he tips saves the ball, like a reflex saves it away. And a lot of like traditional keepers like him, you know, like it's just crazy because he's a 6'5" beast, and he's just like jumping around.
Yeah,
It's
he's
just
like
crazy.
an acrobat.
Yeah.
Shame. It's a bit of a shame that he again played for Denmark. Was he in the team that won the Euros for Denmark?
He must have been, right?
I think he was. Let me look up. I'm pretty sure he was, but I'm just.
It's crazy how they've won a Euro and England haven't.
Yeah, I know. Literally.
Oh, maybe a bit earlier. I don't know.
I think it was. Yeah. Wait, did they win it in '92? Yeah.
Yeah, he must have been. He must have been.
He was the keeper. Yeah, that's what it says.
I think.
Yeah.
Henrik Larsson and that side, you know. Oh, what a player.
Yeah, no, they. I'm just looking it up. Give me a minute. Honors. Yeah, European Championship. Kasper Schmeichel was their keeper.
Think about it, Denmark. Like Denmark winning that. It's like Wales in When did they get to the semi-final?
2016 Euros.
Yeah, 2016 Euros. It was like, you know, we thought that they had the potential to do it, but like obviously these guys actually even won it. Like getting to the semi-finals for Wales was a massive achievement, and these guys went on to win it. And that's Denmark, you know, like they're usually a team that, you know, doesn't really get past the group stages anymore of big tournaments, you know.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, the Euros has had 2 real shock winners. Like Greece won it in 2004.
Yeah.
And played like the most boring football you can possibly imagine, but they won it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like the Euros, I'm so excited.
Even Portugal in 2016 was shocking because, you know, they did so bad in their group, didn't they? They came 3rd.
Yeah, and when
Ronaldo
got injured
in the final.
Ada, what's his name? Eda or whatever.
Yeah, Eder stepped up with an absolute bang.
What a goal.
So that's everyone's 3rd. My 2nd is who I think you two might have had at first, Buffon.
Yeah, I'm saying it.
So Buffon, 655 Juve appearances, 390 clean sheets is what I've got.
Yeah.
Like that. That's just insane. I don't know if any of you have got the percentage, but that is like ridiculous amount, and like he's still playing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's he's a backup keeper obviously, and like he was playing in the I don't know, the Coppa Italia
Coppa Italia.
Yeah. One of the two. There's Super Coppa and there's Coppa Italia, but they're playing against Inter the other day. I watched the game. It was 0-0. But like he was still pulling off saves, and like I don't know, he's still a class keeper even at like 40. And for me, that generation is so tight between those two that I've just mentioned, Casillas and Buffon. But yeah, Buffon obviously he's got the won everything in Italy, obviously. Never won the Champions League, unfortunately. But maybe this year,
Yeah.
if they
Yeah.
can turn it around against Porto.
I don't know.
I actually had.
I think they will. I think they will.
I thought they'd win it this year, but that Porto, they can still do it. But that Porto performance was not good for them. That's not a good look.
Who was the defender that gave the ball away? What's his face?
Yeah, I did. I was
it
at work
Bentancur or
in the
no?
first half, which is a bit of a disappointment. But yeah,
Yeah, I'd only watched some in the second half really, but I just thought they were playing some dodgy football.
But yeah, no, they don't look the team that they were a couple seasons ago. I mean, Ronaldo, until their game against Porto, since Ronaldo had came, he had scored all their knockout stage goals, which just tells you all you need to know, really. But yeah, like honestly, like what a keeper Buffon was, and yeah, he's my second choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. Buffon is also my second choice as well, because I think we've got the same first now. But I'm just looking here in 2015, his expected clean sheets was 0.8, which is incredible if you think about it.
Mate, that is actually insane.
That's like 8 out of 10 games basically. Just
keeping clean sheets.
8 out of 10 games.
Juventus. That is, and then the other years are still like 0.6, 0.62. They're all around there as well, which is, I don't even know what to say. That speaks for itself, really, like how qualified he is as the goalkeeper.
I had him at third originally because of what Casillas has like won and everything.
Yeah.
But then I properly researched. Like obviously I knew some of the stats, but like I researched some other stats, and then I was like, nah, Buffon has got to be above Casillas in this list, just because like the stats speak for themselves. He's got the most impressive stats out of anyone in my list. But I mean, I'm not saying I still stick by who my number one is, but yeah, Buffon.
Yeah.
What a fucking.
The only reason I put him second is because even during the time where he was getting a 0.6 clean sheet like percentage, and you can speak for Neuer when I mention him, obviously you know where he is, but he only made like 2 saves a game, it says here, so that's just the defense speaks for itself as well, really.
Yeah, I mean,
they didn't face many shots.
That was at the time though when the Serie A was kind of it went through. I think it's getting back to not quite where it used to be, but like it's kind of going on the up now. But like they went for a stage where the Serie A was like probably like the 4th best league in Europe. Now I think it's back up to second, but
I think it's second.
Yeah, I think it is.
Not like, Bundesliga.
I've been watching quite a bit.
It's better.
I've kind of haven't gone off the Bundesliga. Like, I still watch it.
Yeah.
But I think the Serie A is for me a better league at the moment.
Yeah, no, I agree as well. Now Bundesliga is still decent. You do get a few shocks here and there, but like I don't know, like sometimes I'm just watching the football and it just seems so easy for Bayern.
Yeah, Bayern just buy the league. Like people say City buy the Premier League. Bayern literally handpick the players that are best from the other team and be like, yeah, I'll have him, I'll have him, I'll have him.
I guess they bought Upamecano actually, didn't they? Now?
Yeah, no,
49 mil.
Prime example. They bought Lewandowski when he was like the best striker in the league. They bought Mats Hummels when he was like the best centre back in the league. They've done so Goetze when he was like one of the most promising players in that league.
Goetze was overhyped though at the time. He's talented, but he was overhyped because he scored that goal.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's never gonna live that down. His career, his life is just set.
Mate, you know what? Yeah, I'll give that to him. He scored the goal that won the World Cup. You know. Gonna...
And Andre Schürrle got the assist, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No one remembers that though.
Yeah, he retired like at 28, but like.
Poor guy.
Yeah, crazy.
Get him on the podcast.
The thing is,
Just start speaking in German.
Do you know Goetze is now at PSV?
Oh. Yeah, I did know. He moved for free in the summer, didn't he?
Yeah, he was a free agent because Dortmund didn't want him anymore because he's gone a bit downhill. But yeah, he's at PSV now. So I don't know. Are they in the Europa League tonight?
Oh, I can look. Yeah, they must be.
I feel like they are. But yeah, we might see. I'm gonna.
Yeah, Olympiacos away.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch. I can't honestly say that that's the game I'll be picking, but
yeah.
Watch the highlights, I guess.
I watched. I love the Europa League highlights. Like
Come on, Wolfsburg.
Yeah, big up Wolfsburger.
Yeah, big up them. Man.
They're called on here. They're
Jose
called
out.
RZ Pellets. I don't even know what that name is.
Mate, fuck, I don't know. Now I've put £15 on our Arsenal winning the Europa League.
Have you?
Well, I haven't yet, but I've just got a really strong feeling that.
Should I do a double header? PSG to win the Champions League, Spurs to win the
Put
Europa
on
League.
Leicester. That'd be jokes.
10 quid.
But yeah,
But,
number 2. It's alright.
I went with Iker Casillas.
Okay.
I just think keepers. Back in the day, like a lot of keepers were 6'4", 6'5" plus. In modern day, even like David De Gea is around 6'2", I think. But Iker Casillas, he was 5'9", and like some people look at him and be like, wait, is he our keeper? Or is he like the bloody like backup right midfielder or something? Like, because
it was like you for Boy and Rhino.
Yeah, literally. Like I was actually tiny. Yeah. I think I got lobbed a few times because I just couldn't reach the ball.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
You're playing goal?
Yeah, I played in
I
goal.
didn't even know that.
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't have known, to be fair, but
But at 5'9", and the way his reach, his jumping, like the way he could jump literally like he was like 6'4".
Yeah.
Like, and obviously he had to train himself to get to that level. And his honors speak for themselves. He won the Spain won the Euro 08, World Cup 2010, and in that World Cup 2010 he kept 5 clean sheets out of a total of 7 games. That's crazy. Like,
that Spanish team, I just remember like he made some big saves, but like they literally they averaged something like 70% possession. Like they literally just kept the ball the whole time. It was.
Who was the defense? Arbeloa, Ramos, Puyol.
Yeah, it was Arbeloa, Ramos, Puyol, and I don't think it was Jordi Alba.
No, it wasn't Alba. It was I can't remember. I can probably look it up.
Eric Abidal. No, I'm joking.
He's Cameroonian, mate.
I'm joking. Yeah. No, shit. Who was it? It was Thingy.
I'm looking it up the more. I'll tell you when I know.
Like it. Nah, surely it wasn't.
Who was Madrid's? Who was Madrid's left back before not Ramos? Marcelo.
Capdevila. That's his name.
Capdevila.
That's the one.
Yeah. Underrated.
Yeah.
In that one game.
I mean, I think he was probably like just in a sick team, so you can't really go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, as well. But like they also had Ramos, Pio, and then as their backup centre backs, they had like Piqué as well. Like Piqué.
It wasn't even Arbeloa, by the way. It was Ramos playing right back.
I was gonna say,
that's
Ramos played right. Ramos.
Yeah, he used to play right back.
Yeah, he was a right back originally.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, our next video about right backs. I don't know if we can class Ramos in there. I think we'll keep him as a centre back.
Yeah.
But I think that moves us nicely on to number 1. I think me and Callum have both got the same person.
Yeah, we've literally had the same list.
I think we've had the same top 5.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you can read. I can send it to you. I'll screenshot it now and send it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's fine.
Literally
Don't worry about it. But I think we have actually had the same top 5. Cech, Schmeichel, Casillas, Buffon, Neuer.
Yep.
As in, well, Schmeichel below Cech actually, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Neuer, stats don't do him justice, even though he has got amazing stats. But he's got a 40.5 clean sheet record in 426 Bundesliga games. He's the first keeper in Bundesliga history to keep 200 clean sheets. World Cup winner, Champions League winner, like the best penalty saver of all time. Well, that's not a stat, but that's my opinion. But yeah, like just literally, and he could play football as well. That's the thing. Like you look at Edison now. Edison's like a bit like him as well. In
the footwork is insane. Yeah,
they almost play as like a 5th defender. Like if the ball comes through and like it looks like the striker's going to get there, Neuer come in and like slide
straight out like sweepers, in it.
I think Neuer is the best example of that I've ever seen. Like I love sweep.
He'll come out to the halfway line and he'll just like sweep a striker.
I've seen him so many times. Like the ball will come over, you'll see like a part of the camera where the striker, you're like, oh shit, he's in. And you see Neuer come out like turn into Usain Bolt and just slide tackle the ball, and insane. Like he's maybe it's a bit biased that I put him top because he's actually my favourite keeper of all time as well. But I think he does deserve, for me, top spot. But
yeah.
I don't think you're biased at all, to be honest. I see him every game, and when there's a striker 1-on-1 against him, I don't know. There's something about him which that he's always got more than a 50% chance.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it just is like that. The only problem with Neuer for me is, well, there shouldn't be a problem with my number one, but there is sometimes he is very eager to come out like all the time. That's the only problem. But I mean, you can't fault a man for his confidence.
Mate, I think when you come out as much as Neuer does, there's always a chance that you're going to make one mistake. But the amount of times that it'll work compared to the amount of times it doesn't work, there's so many more times that it does work. So it is definitely a good trait.
Yeah, great to have.
I think he's simply. I mean, I would say he's the best keeper of all time, but like, apparently Yashin was different.
We're never going to know what Yashin was
exactly.
like. We can watch videos of him, but they're only going to show his best parts at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Not going to be one mistake.
They're not going to show his. So that's why I say Neuer is the best keeper ever, because I can't say I've seen lots of Yashin just in clips, but like I can't safely say that he's the best because I haven't seen him enough. So, But Neuer's my number one, and I think I can guess who Siraj's is. But
Kepa.
Jordan
I was just gonna say about Kepa, like 72 million going to Chelsea, most expensive keeper ever. So like just deservedly number one. Nah, I mean honestly, what's it called? Yeah, Buffon. I mean, like when you think about class and composure, like in tennis you've got Roger Federer, and cricket it was like Tendulkar. I mean, you guys probably don't know who he is, but obviously, you got no idea.
Cricket in my life,
yeah, but Buffon just like he's for all he's achieved and all he's done, he's still like one of the most humble people. Like he'll never like big it up or anything, and but in terms of his ability, I was looking and he's got the record I think in Serie A he went 974 minutes without conceding. Which is nearly 11 games. Like that's like 10 games in like the last 15 minutes of the 11th game. Like, and I just think he's achieved what do you call it? They won the World Cup in 2006. In Euro 2012 they got to the final.
I remember that no one was expecting that Italian team to do well in either of them. In 2006. Obviously I was 4, so I can't really remember it, but like I've read enough about it to know that when they went into the tournament, everyone was kind of saying like they weren't really considered as like contenders. And they just literally pulled out of the bag, and it was because of like players like Buffon, natural born leaders, and like they had obviously Cannavaro at centre back. But
honestly, in the Euros this year.
Was it World Cup, isn't it? 06.
They're in the Euros this year.
Yeah, they've got a decent team. I was looking at it the other day. I think they've got a chance of doing all right.
Donnarumma's the keeper, isn't he?
Donnarumma. Yeah. They've got like Verratti. I think Chiesa's Italian.
Oh, he's very good. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Immobile.
Yeah, they've got a great team. Honestly, like they could do something. I can see them if they play us. I can see them beating us. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
England, man.
Yeah, that's because it's England, isn't it? But yeah, that pretty much sums up our top 10 keepers. So yeah, like that, I thought that was. We didn't actually, what's it? We kind of were on the same page for quite a lot of it. Like
I think that's gonna be most of the list, though. To be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only a certain amount of goalkeepers that were standout.
But really? I think like with obviously I put Buffon on top, you guys put Neuer, but I guess we'll see with longevity. It's crazy, Buffon's like even up until last season, he went to PSG and now he's back at Juve. But he was like first team keeper all the way until like 40. Like he's gonna go on till he's like I don't know when he'll retire. I think maybe.
I've got a feeling he'll retire in the next couple of years, to be honest.
Yeah.
But just because
he's 42 now, isn't he, or something?
I don't know if he'll want to leave Juve again.
Yeah. No, he'll retire at Juve, but I think
become a coach anyway.
I think this might be his last season there. I think. I don't know, because he's about 42. So I mean,
43.
he's still 43.
Yeah.
43. Damn. I
I
mean,
hope
keepers.
he doesn't, but I can
Yeah.
see it because I want him to win a Champions League.
Because he
I think
did
the most-
commit a howler earlier this season. I saw that. It was against Inter, wasn't it? Like
Yeah.
they shot at him and he like spilt it. But you know he's like 43, so
Neuer's
he's
made.
an old man.
Neuer's had games though where
Yeah.
he like even this season there was a game that he conceded like 4 goals. I think
Yeah, I
I
think
don't think he made any
recently I
like,
just saw.
numbers.
Yeah.
South Korea.
Yeah. He hasn't had huge, but recently I think I saw the was against Mönchengladbach. He made a bit of a mess, but it wasn't
Yeah.
like a big one. But like it was just like it's one that he could have should have saved. But it's like it wasn't a howler as such. It was just like he should have done better.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But I think all keepers. There's not a keeper on this list
Yeah,
who I
exactly.
haven't seen. I'm just trying to think.
Maybe
There's not a
Oblak,
keeper
you
on
know.
this- Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know if Oblak's made like a ridiculous error, but
I might have to look that up on YouTube and see.
Yeah.
Who's
But anyway,
housing?
that kind of wraps it up. So thank you lot for watching again, and we're gonna keep on doing this. So the modern era. So we've got the goalkeepers. We've done our top 10 keepers. Then we're gonna keep on going around. So next episode we'll do right backs. So you got the likes of Dani Alves, Lahm, Cafu.
Yeah.
Lots of great right backs in that list. But
Oh,
yeah,
Walker Peters, yeah.
yeah, Walker Peters number 1 then. But yeah, thanks for watching.
Oh yeah. Thanks. All right.
Yeah, thanks.